So, we're going to play Great Western Trail. It's the first edition, not the second edition. I don't know much about the second edition, but we've just learnt this one. And then we're going to let you know our thoughts afterwards, once we've wound our way many times up the trail to Kansas City. And why Kansas City? Because everything's up to date in Kansas City. They've gone about as far as they... In Great Western Trail, you are cowboys herding cattle to Kansas City. Each turn, you move your worker, stopping at locations or hazards. When you stop at a location, you can either take the actions on that spot, or choose to take one of the auxiliary actions listed on your board. Actions include hiring cowboy traders, builders, and engineers, moving your train along the track, buying more cattle, building more locations on the trail, and many more as the game goes on. Another core mechanic is the deck building, with your hand of cards needing to be the best it can be by the time your worker reaches Kansas City. Once there, you sell your cows, place a disc from your board onto the city determined by the amount you made from the cows, and advance the recruitment track, which is also the endgame timer. When you advance your train, you can also remove discs from your board by placing them on stations along the way. There is a lot more to it, yet despite its complexity, it ends up being a very intuitive puzzle with many, many different paths to victory, due to the many, many different ways you can score victory points. Right. So I completely understand, I think you chaps probably do as well, why that is so high in the rankings on BGG. Like, completely understand.
Really good game.
That was incredible. And I said before, when I was learning it, one of the things that attracted me to it was the fact that it was, one reviewer said, much prefer to play this to Maracaibo, and Pirates of Maracaibo, because they are essentially the same concept of going up a trail, stopping at places along. You can either do it quickly or take a little longer to do it, and that changes the game length, etc. And it was like that, but it was better than Maracaibo because all of the interconnected systems just made sense and fit together, whereas Maracaibo, I find personally, is a bit clunky, and you can do too disparate a game plan. Amazing and completely unknown in terms of scoring, because everything is endgame scoring. It's not like a normal Euro game where there's points around the outside and you can see in-game points and then end-game points, and they all go together, and so it gives you a bit of a steer on how things are going. It's extremely difficult.
And fascinating for me was I thought the end game was going to come quicker.
Yeah.
And actually, it was a nice paced game.
Yeah.
Even with this token falling off at the end, and obviously Rich taking that.
Didn't feel rushed until we knew we were pushing the end game, and when it wasn't so much rushed as tight decisions.
What a difference from Witcher at the start of the weekend, where we had like hours between turns.
Yeah.
That we were suddenly like, we haven't even got time to go to the toilet.
No, we've got to absolutely smash this.
Smash it.
We probably spent the same time playing this game, maybe more, but yet the turns were so quick, and the game was so fun and satisfying to play that it was one of those games that I'm sat there thinking, to be honest, I'm happy to play this for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have fun because everything you're doing is gaining something. It's moving forward on something. It's adding those extra point salad elements, because there is a lot. Where's the scoreboard?
Yeah.
It's over there. There's so many. There's all of those. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different ways to score. And some people don't like that at all. I absolutely love it, to be able to have so many things that give you points.
So it's something I love when we can, all three of us, play a game and play entirely different games.
Completely different games.
And then so close to score that we did, with us being all over 100 and there being 4 points from third place to first place.
I didn't go heavy into cattle. You were the cattle man.
Fully half my score was cattle.
Yeah.
Fully half my points on cattle.
50 points.
You were the train baron.
I went all the way to the end of the
and I'm just plodding around building some buildings, and we all agreed that middle of the game, near the end of the game, it was like, Don's nowhere near. It's going to be a tie between you two. Probably more.
I never thought that. I saw the buildings coming out. I was never on board with Don being in the back.
Hadn't got there at all.
Well, that's the good thing. It's one of those games where you can't do everything, so you've got to specialize on at least two things. My focus was trains, and I thought my focus had been on cows, but evidently not, because I didn't have the money. I got more cowboys, so I could buy better. I was eligible to buy better cows, but I never had the money when I got to them.
You had less than a quarter of my score on cows.
Way under. It was always a struggle with money, I found, but that's what made it interesting and challenging, because you're not just rolling it at all times. You're having to count down to the exact dollar what you're going to do, what you're going to spend it on, and try and, as much as possible, predict, well, I'm going to allocate this money for this money for this, and then I'll have that for that. But things can still change. If someone puts a building in your way with a toll, then actually, right, that's me down.
The tolls, the being robbed, and the way, up here, the reason I didn't score one of my objectives was because I had no money left when we got to the point to take a hazard, because I was being robbed blind by you two along the way. And I never had enough money by the end of that. Literally the difference between having 3 and gaining 4 to be able to spend the 7, between giving you two the 3. The way you would lay this out, and you mentioned it while we were playing, in alternate setups, you would alternate where the starting buildings are placed. So you might not necessarily have the recruit as your first step along the trail. That might be right at the end. The building might be in the middle. The remove a hazard might be the first thing you go to.
Yeah.
And that would have been an entirely different game.
Really tactical of where you're going to build your buildings, especially the ones with the hand icons where you're trying to get a little bit of money back from your competitors.
Yeah.
That's suddenly like
engineer
is that route less?
But then buildings also slow everyone down.
Yeah.
So you can consider: do I want to slow that track down, or do I want to be able to move that through it? A bit like, and not just inventions, but so many games that I enjoy, that I felt it wasn't tight from the point of view of you always know where you can get something from. There's avenues to get. If you think, right, I need money, look at the board. There's loads of different mechanisms and again levers you can pull. If you needed cattle, there were more ways you can get it. So, and your auxiliary actions gave you the variety of never just being stuck with a go that was useless.
Well, to put that into context, the fact that I had one less visit to Kansas City than you guys did, because I was going slow to utilise the churn to try and build the better decks out of the cattle variety, which meant I did get lapped.
It's why I sped up.
Yeah.
I saw you buying so much cattle and having the ability to buy so much cattle.
Yeah.
I thought I just need to whip round as soon as possible to get that end game scored more quickly, like Lottie does, so that you didn't get more momentum.
Yeah.
But yet also you've got to get the balance with, that's all well and good, but what have I got? I might not have enough to end this game quickly.
You took the role I had in container last night.
Yeah.
We just switched that round. You were the one trying to push the end
Push
game.
it. We were desperately
I was
clinging
the one who
on.
wanted another turn.
We were clinging on to the game, carrying on. So, I think it's spectacular. It's a masterpiece. It's exactly as good as people say. Interestingly, it's one of the only games I know that has both of its versions in, what, is it the top 30, top 50?
Both in the top 50.
Yeah.
I believe it. I can't remember which one.
So I'd really be interested in knowing what the second edition adds or changes. That would be good to look into.
Yep.
So couple of terminology changes.
Oh yeah,
you lose the TPs and you gain bandits.
Yeah, they're just cleaning up the PC nature of it, understandably.
From my broad research I did before we started, it was a very similar game, because I was also cautious that if it was version 2 was better, I didn't want to play a clunky game that didn't work or something like that.
A bit like Shipyard and Shipyard 2.
Yeah,
people prefer Shipyard 2, but this is an incredible game, and this, I think the first edition is higher up.
Scores out of 10.
9.
Wow,
9.
Like it, Rich.
So for me, the fact that it's quite a long game at 3 players means it's not going to go above an 8.
Gotcha.
So it's an 8.
Yeah.
I loved it. It's in my personal top 20, but in terms of actual score, because of the practicality of getting it to the table, it's an 8.
Game length, yeah.
It's going to be a 9 for me as well.
9 as well.
Really chuffed. Really chuffed I've got it as well.
Good.
Really chuffed it wasn't a clunky game because it was the first version, and then they made it better. I
Yeah.
think this is a really good game on its own.
And it's been on your shelf for so
Absolutely,
long.
you need to
Yeah,
deluxify the coins, deluxify the trains into some little
Definitely get
die-cast
some
minis.
solid metal trains. Yeah.
But other than that, the components are pretty solid, standard. Actually.
Yeah.
There's no real issue. Maybe a dual layered board.
Dual-layered
If they did
board,
those,
yeah.
that would be lovely.
Yeah.
Solid.
All right. Great stuff. Thank you very much, Don,
Yeehaw.
for bringing it. That was an amazing play.
Brilliant.
Great stuff. See you later.